There we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dash number 2 for KMR Season 41. We are excited to bring this to you. KMR is at Daytona. Next week will be the Daytona 500. You saw over there on the Tons of Fun broadcast network. You saw Dash number 1 there with you saw on Dunker Wiz. Dash number 1, and that was an exciting dash. Well, Dash 2 decides the outside row. Congratulations, Annihilator, for grabbing the pole. Let's see who will join him on the front row. Fractured Chain and the 18 of Beloved is going to start there. I'm joined in the booth by Woozy Emu. Woozy, thanks for joining me today, man.
You're welcome, Sam.
All right, so what do you think we're gonna get today? What kind of race do you think we're gonna have today?
I'm thinking, I think some people are very excited to be in the race. I'm thinking Derpy Lion will maybe win at the second race.
Well, we'll definitely have to see there on the backstretch under caution as they get themselves lined up and prepared to go green. We're on board right now with the 14 of Dopey Lion, and one of the big stories for KMR this season was the big shakeup of SHR started last season. SHR is trying to rebuild. They have almost all of their cars in this dash. That is the 14, the 10, and the 41. We're on board with the 14, who is locked in, and he's the only driver locked into this race. We also have 2 hot seats. The 41 is actually a hot seat. He did not qualify for the series. So essentially, this could be his first and only race of the season, this dash race. But if he makes the 500, he has a bigger chance of possibly getting into the field. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Also, the 1 has a sub, and the sub is Wolfpack, who has ran last season. We saw him most notably last season in the X Series and the Truck Series. He's going to have a chance to get himself together here. And Fleur decides to join the series. He's going to try to first qualify for the 500. We're about to go green. Green flag is out for dash number 2 at Daytona. Whoa, big spin in the back, hard hit in the back, it looked like. That could have been lag, or maybe he got it together, but, ooh, that was a tough lick. And one car I do not see out here is the 20 of Fractured Chain, who was supposed to start on pole. Let's see if we can, we're on board with the 14. Let's see if we can find that 20. There's a 41, there's the 18, 32, 72, Wolf, there's Spirit Rope, Dopey, Dunker. Oh no! No. Speedy must have lost connection or lagged out. That is not good. So Fractured will not be in the 500. That's what that means. Hate that. Gosh, that's bad. In the meantime, Fractured has to feel good looking up here, seeing this right here. And seeing this right here, and that's the 18 up front. He was leading this pack. Now the 14, the 10, the 72 all hooked up. There's the 21 of JPS that's now up here. And the 18 is falling quick. He's going to have to get in the draft. There's the 1. Who's also there, Fleur, way off the pace. Let's go on board with the 72. Now, Woozy, if you're out here right now, what would you be thinking if you were the 72 right now?
Well, if I were the 74, I think, then
72?
I would, 72, got it, then I would be passing in 1 and taking the lead.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, he got shuffled out of place there. And you can expect a lot of that is the 84 Ghost. Sub for Ghost Spirit Rope. He went to the wall. He bumped the wall. Now, what we saw in dash number 1 was long green flag stretch, no cautions. It was amazing. Everyone got a chance to get spread out, so it's going to be really tough. If you lose a draft, it's really tough to get back up, so hopefully he'll be able to do so. Let's get you back up to the pack. The 14 of Dopey wants the outside lane, and he has a teammate behind him. That's Dunker. Dunker not locked into the big dance, but as of right now, he would be in as he slides back one, and now the 21 of JPS is there. And this is important for JP. Last time he was in that 21, he won the Daytona 500. There he goes. He's going to try to make his way past the 14. 14 does a good job blocking. But, yeah, that's going to be tough, man. What do you think about that 21 so far, Woozy?
The 21 is doing amazing. Like, he need to keep his pace on and catch up with the 14 and the 41.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Do you see this up front, Woozy? 1, 2, 3, 4 Fords.
Yeah, I think so. Then the other non-Ford is catching up with them.
Right, so you got the 4 Fords, and then the 2 in the back are Chevys. And it's still quite a few laps to go. So this is a very paced dash race, but still, I mean, you got to figure out a way. Now, in your mind, these guys have linked up. Here's the only anomaly in this picture. The 21 is not going to settle for riding around and being Team Ford. So, whoa! As the 41 came down on the 10 there, forced the 10 way out of the draft. That's the 41 of paint. He forced Dunkerwiz out of the draft. Now Dunkerwiz has to hope he's close enough. And then it happened again. It happened again with that 1. The 1 of Wolf subbing in for Pennzoil. So, top 7 in this one, advance. Top 7 advance in this dash. In dash number 1, it was the top 6 because there were 2 locked-in drivers. The 27 and the 4. And in this one, the 14 is the only driver locked in, and the 14 is controlling the pace right now with the 41 right behind him. So far, Woozy, who's your favorite to win?
I'm thinking the 14.
He certainly looks solid right now. He certainly looks solid. So right now we know Fractured not going to make it to the 500. Not a way we want to start your season. He could become a hot seat really quickly. But I think if you talk to him, he's not really worried about it. I think he's very, very confident in his abilities and everything out there. And so I don't think he's really concerned about the 500. Obviously, if you're any driver, you want to try and make the 500. You want to be a part of the 500. But I don't think he's really concerned. He's not going to lose sleep over the 500. He'll be ready for Talladega for sure. And he's guaranteed a spot in Talladega. So that's for sure. As they all look at them pushing down the back straightaway and trying their best to get themselves into the series. As the 21 gets forced out of line, he drops yet another position. So now don't look now, but that 72 is inching closer and closer to the lead in that KMR Chevrolet. And we know that he's not afraid to stick a bumper in there and try to get around any car. Now, but the question is now, if he goes to try to make this pass, who's going to be there to help him? That's going to be the thing. You got all these Fords here. You have to hope that JPS is going to come down there and help. Or you got to hope that Dunker is hungry enough to where when he steps out, Dunker will go with him. Going board Wolfpack, who's slightly off the pace here, but if he holds a steady line, he could possibly get himself back in. Right now, with only about 4 cars up there, 5th in line, he is into the 500. So this could be a ticket in for Pennzoil. Now, Pennzoil is a hot seat as well. This is huge because Pennzoil very, very seriously could battle his way into the series if he can get into the 500. And of course, full KMR rules apply. Here, there's the 84 of that's going to be Ghost Train, and Ghost Train is not locked into the 500. He needed a good run here, and is not getting it right now. Now, there could definitely be a caution. Somebody could back out. Full KMR rules apply. Right now, all the drivers are in. There's Fleur, you see by himself, damage to that front end. But again, this pack up here could be the make or break of the race so far. As you see, the 14 was able to get past the 72 here. So 72 is going to have to work his way back up. 21's hanging in. This has been a fun pack to watch here in this dash. Brought to you by KMR. This is qualifying for the Daytona 500 that will air next week. And so far, right now, the way it looks, possibly Fractured Chain could broadcast the Daytona 500. Pretty sure it's not what he intended, but it might work out for him there. We'll find out.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, Woozy, what's your take on the race so far?
Well, the race is amazing with all the cars. Like the first and second, they're all amazing in the Daytona. All one of them will take the figure lane and win the Daytona 500 next week.
Definitely. So far, we're probably at the halfway point. We're 26 laps scheduled for this race. The first lap was burned off to get the correct order for the cars. So they started basically essentially from lap 2. So 25 laps. I'd say we're about halfway through in this one. And just like dash number 1, there's this lead pack here, and then everyone else is just kind of spread out. So essentially, well, we know for sure these top 4 are going to come in, and let's see, Woozy, if we notice as these laps count down, how these cars react to what's going on. Being tight, being loose. In dash number 1, which I had the privilege of running, as the laps counted down and the run got deeper and deeper, the car would really tighten up. As you see there, woo!
Whoa!
That's what's going to end up happening right there. You're going to have a big wreck.
Wow.
Yeah. And what happens is you bounce off that apron, you lose momentum. Or, again, as your car tightens up and you're in the draft, especially if you're running 3rd or 2nd, it's really easy to get shuffled out of line because that car just tightens up. And if you go to gather it, and what ends up happening is the car that below you starts to get a run, and you either chop the front of the nose off, or you wreck yourself or the driver you're trying to pass. So really, really interesting to see how these cars, what happens with these cars as they go along, as they coming up on lap traffic here at Daytona. But again, all it takes is one caution to mix this up and create an atmosphere for some exciting racing. There's your pack number 2, Dunker and the 1 of Pennzoil. Both of these drivers were kind of kicked out of the draft, and now they're drafting together. They're off the pace, but they're not too bad off. Let's ride on board again with Wolf. The leaders are gone. The leaders are way up there. And I mean, they have to stay tucked in together if they're gonna do anything. They've got to stay tucked in.
I see the 84 and the 18 drop together like noon.
Yep, the 84, the 18. We saw the 18 had the front row after the 20 lagged out. And, as they both bang the wall, that's not going to help. Their calls they're in desperate need of a caution. They're in desperate need of a caution. Caution is desperately needed. Back up front, there's the 14 running a very steady line. 72 gets pushed out of shape. If I were to estimate how many laps are left, I'd say about 7 to go in my estimation. Laps left, and maybe, just maybe, somebody is putting stuff in my, what you do? The dashboard is open. There are no messages. So that means that Paintbrush is not driving with texting and driving. So that's good. It's safe. Safe. It's good. No texting and driving. We don't encourage that in KMR.
Yeah. That would be bad if someone did texting and driving. That would be bad.
It is always bad. So remember, you're out there, no texting and driving. Look at this interesting thing. 32 tries to come down and catch the draft. That could definitely mix things up. As you see, the 72 is going to take it 3 wide at Daytona. I think he thought that he could use the 32 as a pick. It didn't work that way. He's going to have to get back in line. The 32 we saw do something very similar to what the 22 did in dash number 1. Trying to make the 500. Unsuccessful attempt, I might add, by Mixer Ice. So he won't be in the big dance. But what we saw was the 22 acted like a pick and was able to hold up some drivers from advancing in the series. Even starting from the lead, going on board, tried to help a Ford, namely the 4, get to the front row. Was pushed back in the pack, and he continued to create that kind of blocking technique back in the pack. There's been some controversy stated about that, which will be highlighted later on. In the meantime, up front, 41-14, 21-72 is your top 4. All these guys advance. 1 on lock-in, the rest advancing by running. Right now, the 41 of Dawson, who's getting help from Paintbrush, is in the lead right now. We saw Paint in the lead quite a bit in the last dash as well. Question is, can he hold on to that lead for his teammate? Now, you might be watching this like, wait a minute, is it fair that he can drive 2 rides? Well, it's the Daytona Dash. You're trying to get your team in. Circumstances, obviously this is a holiday weekend, so circumstances are that not everyone can make it in. Make it today. Because it's 2 races divided as it is, you want to at least give a shot at your driver making it in. And so that's what you see. 72 being very aggressive. Disadvantage right now for the 72 is he's got no help. And so the 21, Woozy, what do you think the 21 is going to do as these laps count down? Do you think he's going to try and go for it? Or do you think he's going to settle in behind the Fords?
I'm thinking the 21 might go for it because he looking at the 14 and 41, his strategy will be like passing two of them and get to the first place.
Well, we will see, won't we? Laps are
Yeah.
starting to count down. I don't have a lap counter out there, so for those watching, hopefully that one person that's watching is in the race some type of way, and hopefully that one person can give me the running order when the race is over, so that I can accurately put people where they're supposed to be. Please. And if you are not in the race and the person watching is not in the race, then okay. Look at the lap traffic they're coming in on now. 32, they're about to pass him again. 32 with a lot of damage and no drafting help equals no bueno. But they're also coming in on the 10, or rather the 84 and the 18. So this is big too. As we're going to have a lead change here in a second. The 14 back out in front, and now they're coming up on lap traffic. 41's getting pushed back. 32 comes back in. What is he doing? And that looks like the race. That looks like the race. That may explain what he was doing. 14, 21. The 14, 21, 72. The 14.
Wow.
14, 21, 72, 41 is what it looked like, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know who else beyond that. Hopefully someone's getting a running order for me. There it is, 14. So it's 14, 41, 21, 72, 10, 1, and 84, your top 7. So, wow. That's your top 7. Ghost Train able to get in. The 18 below the cutoff. 32. And then the 20.
Wow, that's
they're
amazing.
finishing last. That was an amazing race. 14, 41, 21. I thought there were 11 in here. Okay. Maybe I was wrong. Okay. In any case, great race. Fastest lap goes to Spheric Rope. Look at him. I'm hoping that that's right. Let's see if we can get some interviews here. First with the 14, the winner of this event. That is the Lion, who never appears online. Thank you, Xbox. And thank you, Paint, out there, also for giving me that running order. So we can get some driver interviews. Dopey Lion, Sam Cook in the booth, man. Include your audio.
Check.
Yeah, man. Great race out there. You did an awesome job. What was it like being back out there? And just take us through that race.
I think it was pretty fun being back out there. I missed it. New season. I thought the racing was pretty good too. I wish we could have had a bigger pack there, so it would have been more movement up front. But we got our 41 teammate up there. He needed to get in. The 10 car did well too. He needed to get in, and that's all I was really focused on there till that last lap. Then I figured, well, if there's a position to go for it, then I'll go for it at the end. and there was position opened up, and I got it. So I'll take it. A little
Yeah,
momentum for Daytona.
definitely. That's what I was gonna say. Talk about setting the tone. How important do you think it was to set the tone here in this race? And with your teammates finishing really right there with you, or at least one of your teammates finishing right there with you. How big of an advantage do you think that's gonna be?
I think it's a pretty big advantage just to show the championship team didn't completely fall off. I mean, I know it's only Daytona, and it's not like the other tracks we're going to be going to, but it's still going to be pretty interesting. And then with the teammates from behind, hopefully we don't get completely screwed starting in the top lane, because top lane isn't great there at Daytona.
Not at all. Not at all. But you managed to do very well. Just this last question before I sing you out of here. What was up with the 32? Was he playing around out there, or was he helping you guys out at all, or what was that all about?
I don't know. I was thinking LePage was going to happen. LePage didn't happen. He was just blocking. I think he was just messing around.
Yeah, I mean, when you're riding alone at 170 and everybody else is having fun, I guess what else can you do? Anybody you got to thank before we get you out of here?
Just the boys back at the shop and the teammates helping us get up there and controlling the race. It was a pretty good race.
Very nice race, and what a way to start. Hopefully, your Daytona 500 will go equally as well. You start on the outside, front row, man. Good job. That was Dopey Lion in the 14, looking to keep a pulse there at Team 40. Brought Team 4 their first victory and finishing first in dash number 2. He'll start on the outside lane. We bring in Dawson, aka Paintbrush, today. Paint, welcome back to the booth.
What's going on?
So, Paint, Dawson is a hot seat. So really, Daytona is everything for him right now. How satisfied are you with the type of finish that you had? Dawson started in 8th. You've got him a second place finish. Take us through that race.
Yeah, man. You know, we built Ford up over the off season, and we were laying out all of our cards at Daytona, and I felt like we brought all fast cars here, and the plan was to get Dawson in. We got him in. Uh, I think Dawson led the most laps, or me, whatever you want to say. No, good thing the seat was in place and all for me to hop in that car real quick, get out of my duel. But man, that car was a rocket ship. We had the Ford boys 1, 2, and 3. We had Dunker up there as well. It's a great start of the season to see us working together as a team for once.
So, do you think that is, or is that going to be the theme for your season, working together as a team and establishing team chemistry?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I already see a big difference from what we had before. Uh, the four we have now is like we talk all the time. We're sharing setups, sharing notes, sharing what we have, and I think it's going to be a good season for all of us at Haas.
Well, I certainly hope so. We want everybody to have success and have fun, and it certainly looked like you guys had both out there tonight. And I'm pretty sure running dash number 1 got you warmed up, and thankfully so, because you got one of your teammates at least into the 500, and now he controls his destiny from here. Anybody you got to thank before we get you out of here?
I want to thank Swift most importantly for giving me the chance to come back and run a legacy at Haas with him. I want to thank everybody else that decided to come along for this, and you for putting the league on another season, and hopefully we have another great season this upcoming one.
Yeah, man. And that was Paintbrush who subbed for Dawson and got Dawson into the big show. He'll start 4th on the grid for the 500 next week. Woozy, how about we let you interview the last guy on the grid, and that's the 21 of JPS. All right. And we'll give you an opportunity to talk to JPS and everything. There's JPS. So Woozy, have at it.
Hi, hey GBS.
Hello.
Do you have your audio included?
Yes, I do.
You got in the. Which place is he on?
Third. He's third.
Okay, you
And
got third in the dash. How you feel about getting third in the Daytona?
I feel good, man. It's qualifying. So I start sixth, but if Dust for I've heard it, if Dust had to not show up. If Dust didn't show up, I go to fourth. But yeah, we have a good 21 car. Fred fastest lap that race. I feel like this 21's gonna do good things this season. I'm so glad I switched back to the 21 because my 21 is my best luck charm. I felt like when I was in the 11, it really didn't work out well, but now I feel like I have luck on my side again. I didn't hit the apron much this race. I can hold my line better. I'm a good pusher this race. I feel like I can go for another Daytona 500. That is my goal, and I hope to succeed in with that goal of mine.
Mm. Okay. How you feel about going to Daytona 500 and getting the third lane when you get in first place?
Can you rephrase that, buddy?
Um, Sam, can you do it for me?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this question, JP, because this is a real important question as you come in. Obviously, this is an awesome finish for you.
Hmm.
Um, Back in the 21, you're trying to win another 500.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think is going to be your biggest obstacle headed into the 500?
It's I think some obstacles is like trying to find people who work with you and like will go on to the outside because the outside because for me I'm the guy who I tries to go on the outside but I have kind of like been having problems because sometimes people don't like to go with you on the outside so that's one of my obstacles and another one is the apron because if you hit that apron you will go up the track. We have all experienced that and it's the worst feeling. And that sometimes people can be too aggressive early. Like what I almost got hit by Wes a couple times because he was being very aggressive. Um, yeah, we're just trying to get up there, just trying to keep that 21. I feel like I can, if I get like some wins or like top threes, more top threes this season. I feel like this will be a good season for me overall back in the 21 because when I like everyone's seen when my old 21 when I was back in 21, I got two wins. Daytona 500 and Talladega, so I'm hoping to get more than two wins. I feel like this could be an overall good season for me. I feel like I can go for that championship once again, and this time I'm hoping to get to the top four and not get eliminated out of the top six or the top 12. I believe in myself very dearly, and I hope to succeed with this season, and I really hope it goes out well.
Yeah, in this race, we saw where it looked like there were one or two times that you were testing the waters to see if you could jump out there, what kind of help you would have. Is that what you were doing, or was it just driving and getting a little tight and peeking out? What was your
Couple times it
strategy there?
was, couple times it was, but then there's a couple times I want to try to, but I didn't. But so but then I thought twice about it. But then like during the runs, like when I'm behind someone, like sometimes my car can if I hit the apron a little bit, it comes off the track. So I just had to. When I was in second the one time, I had to like move out of line a little bit and just let my fellow Fords pass and stuff because I didn't want to accidentally cause a wreck and stuff. So I just moved back and went back to fourth, so I wouldn't
I'm
cause
pretty
anything. So.
sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those that got separated from the pack were praying that you caused a wreck and called a caution because they needed it as spread out as they were. But that's neither here nor there. Congratulations, man! You get that 21 up front towards the front to start in the 500. That's gonna be a big deal, man. And we wish you the best
Yep.
next week. That all right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the 21 of JPS.
I would recommend
Um,
talking to Dunker because he is not the happiest guy right now.
Well, we will definitely do that. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. It's been an awesome dash one and dash two. If you want to catch dash one, you weren't able to. You can go to Twitch account DunkerWiz and watch KMR dash one for the 500. It was an awesome race, similar to what we saw here. And you're sure to enjoy it. Dash number 1 decided the inside row. This dash decided the outside row. Most notable drivers outside, looking in the 32, the 20, both outside. They did not make the 500. There's one more driver there that I don't even. Anyway, and then on the inside over here on dash number 1, I'll have those results shortly, but you will not see the 24. You will also not see Dale Jr. in the 95. Those two drivers were eliminated, and they will not start in the Daytona 500. Notable drivers that made it in from Dash 2, of course, you saw Dawson get in. What about the 1 of Pennzoil, who is in, and the 84, or rather the 18 of Beloved, able to get his 18 into the big dance. He will start last on the grid. So it's going to be exciting. 16 drivers are going to make their way to the 500 next Sunday. Watch Twitch, because we will have a broadcaster, and it will be probably put on the Speed Report this coming Thursday night, who the broadcaster for the 500 will be. Until then, this has been Sam Cook and Woozy. Thanks for joining me in the booth, Woozy. It's been a pleasure having you up here. And it is KMR out.